Welcome to the rabbit hole, where we go deep, deep into the rabbit hole. We're like-minded me. Welcome to the rabbit hole, the truth we see. There's lizard people everywhere, the conspiracies speak.
Welcome to the rabbit hole, where we go deep, uninvited from the rabbit hole. The weak-minded sheep for the open-minded people, not the little but the weak.
We have before us the opportunity to forge a new world order.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. Flat Earth Society. Flat Earth Society.
And for future generations.
Flat Earth Society. Flat Earth Society. We don't have time for a
new world order.
Treasure Island.
They never come back. Boy.
Yes, people, how you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Rabbit Hole Ramblings. How are you? It's been a while, people. It's been a while. I hope you are all happy and healthy, doing the things you love, with those you love to do them with. I'm back here with my man, Nikos, my partner in crime, Nikos, with the tats. I'm not sure whether to look at him or read him. He's got all sorts of things on his body. It looks fantastic. The Spanish sun is treating him well. We're going to find out how he's doing in just a moment. We are also here with our man, our brother across the ocean, our brother from another mother, Eugenie's back in the gaff too. What is crack-a-lacking, people? It's been a while. We've got so much to catch up on. We've got so much to catch up on in just the last week alone. In the last week alone, we have Senator Lindsey Graham. Well, he goes on a little secondment to Ukraine, where my man Eugene's from, originally.com. And he's come back and he's gone out of here. He's out of here inside 24 hours. What happened there? Who did it? Who did it? Was it Colonel Putin in the library with the candlestick? Or was it possibly Netanyahu from... Oh, the conspiracies, they are arrived. What about Anne Widdecombe? Oh, Anne, what happened? What happened? I've already seen someone in the comment section saying she was going to expose something and they had to get rid of it. We've got to talk about that. We've got to talk about so much more. The video log is built and ready to go. There's hundreds and hundreds of videos, but we're just gently bringing ourselves back into the game. So tonight, I don't know how long we're going to go for, but we're going to go until we can go no more. Guys, you know what to do. You know what to do in the chat. Smash the like button out of the charts. Smash it like the earth was flat. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. And notifications, they should be dropped. We're going to do our best not to get demonetized tonight. We are going to do our very best, but I've got a feeling it's going to happen anyway because they know. They know that we know. And we know that they know that you know that we know. So make sure you smash the granny out of all those things anyway. Let me come to you. Viva España. What a game. You're out there in Spain, mate. It must be noisy on the streets of España tonight, isn't it? What an unbelievable outcome for them. Mate,
yeah,
how are you?
Congratulations to Spain. That's a second World Cup final. I was here the last time they won it in 2010, and I potentially will be here when they win the next one. But I'm hoping we get a Spain-England final because that's the glorious outcome for me as a expat living in Spain. So yeah, it's been a beautiful day, beautiful weather. And we've had fireworks going on. There's, you know, if you hear some bibbing going on in the background, there's cars going down the street celebrating. It's crazy.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. It's great to fucking see you, Nikos. I haven't seen you for a long time. And again, I apologise to you backstage. When I got into the Spurs hub hole, I'm sort of guy that just dives in, and then I came out the other side and went, you know what we haven't done for a while? Rabbit hole. And the rabbit hole has to recommence because it's been too long. So who do I have to go? I got to go and recommence some conversations. And you were so gracious to go, yes, Sean, I'm there for you, bro. I'm there. Let's get going. I said, well, you know what? The 2-0 could be the 2-0, but there's always better when we got the trifecta. And we always need someone to keep us on our toes a little bit. Really just calls bullshit on some of the stuff that you and I believe might be percolating in the world. And we've got Eugenie to do just that. Eugene, how are you, bro? It's great to see you, mate. Great to see you.
I'm excited. Hey, the French are in the mud. Conor McGregor is in the mud. I'm in the mud for questioning my right back, Pedro Porro. So we're all in the mud. And, I'm happy to be here.
We're not all in the mud.
Well,
just the people.
When I say all, it's me.
Yeah.
I talk about myself in, all.
In the third person, yeah.
But yeah.
Listen, it's great to see everybody in the Chidley Chit Chat. Listen, I don't know whether we should just start with the obvious politics or whether we should just let it drop into the conversation naturally. But before we get into it, you know what to do, guys. Super Chidley Chit Chats are open, and James_119, our first ever Super Chidley Chit Chatter, has dropped in a 79 pence super sticker. Big up to you, James. Thank you very much. To you, bro. Choo to you. Shall we get straight into just random conversation? Should we get into it randomly, or should we talk about what's going on in the world of I don't know, is it assassinations? Are people getting off left, right, and center, Nikos? Should we start there, or should we just get into the videos and see where we go?
Yeah, actually, we brought up at the beginning there, but the Anne Whitcomb thing, obviously, I don't follow UK politics too much, but I understand she was writing a tell-all book, which included a lot of the nonsense that's been going on in House of Commons and the people involved in it and stuff. So she was writing a tell-all book, from my understanding. And as she was documenting her book, I don't know how they know, maybe the publishers give someone a nod or whatever, but yeah, she was going to expose a few people, I think, by the sounds of it. So that's quite I mean, she's old anyway. She's probably jabbed up, but yeah, that was quite a weird one. There's been quite a few politicians.
She didn't pass because of being jabbed up or because of her age. She was healthy, but she was bashed up. She was bashed up, right? But what's terrifying to me is not terrifying, terrifyingly obvious is. Here's where I'll start. I don't care. You know how it goes. Oh shit! I haven't got the disclaimer at the bottom here. Where's the disclaimer for?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Where is it? Can I see it? Hang on a second. It must be here somewhere. Hang on. But yeah, all opinions on this show are. Oh, it's been deleted. Someone's deleted it.
Entertainment purposes. Course.
Basically, all opinions here are for entertainment purposes only. We don't choose to offend anybody. Please take it all with a pinch of salt. And it's allegedly. I would say that at the get-go. But for me, what I felt that was incredibly obvious and noticeable was that as soon as it happened, all of the mainstream media immediately came out and said it's a white male. The suspect is a white male. They kept saying white male. Whereas for all the other things that go on in the UK, if it's not a white male, they just don't tell you, right? Because they want to keep the peace. But when it comes to a white male doing something, they want to let you know, which I find two-tierish, and that's offensive. Second of all, they then pivoted towards this idea that it's terror related, right? And the first guy that got arrested got released, and then someone else has been arrested, and now it's turned into a terror related thing. And all I've seen over the last couple of days is politicians coming out saying, yeah, I think it's necessary given what happened now and what's happened with the last two. There's like three UK politicians that have been murdered in the last decade. Clearly, we need to ramp up the protection of UK politicians because it's unacceptable what's going on. And Keir Starmer coming out immediately saying, anyone that's got, well, anyway, we'll come back to that stuff. But like generally speaking, my thought is always like, what's the angle? And for me, the angle is whether or not it was just some crazy person, whether or not it was because of her politics, or whether or not it was something else. They're latching on to the idea of applying the terrorism tag to it so that they can then ramp up the idea that politicians need more protection, because they know that in the future, and in the short-term and medium-term future, there's going to be more and more policies that are going to piss the average person off, that are conducted by, orchestrated for, and the benefits of will be politicians, and that they can then justify the fact that they have people around them, and so more money goes towards protecting them, when in actual fact you wouldn't need to be protected if you actually did policies that actually made most people in the UK feel like you were doing a good job.
Yeah, expenses, security expenses allowance.
100%. 100%. And it's exactly the same thing. But we don't know too much about the Anne Widdecombe thing, but it's sad because as much as she's like a spinster and she was like, you know, whatever, she offended a lot of people with her ways, but I don't know, like it's terror. I mean, imagine the last few moments of her life must have been absolutely terrifying, right? And like, you know, horrendous way to leave this realm. And then you go across Eugenie. Do you know too much about what's going on with Lindsey Graham? I mean, he goes to Ukraine to like give his support to Zelensky, and then within 24 hours of his return, he drops dead as well. And now the conspiracy theorists are kind of questioning, well, who was it? Was it Putin or was it Iran? And my initial thoughts are, was it possibly...
He was in a drone factory. The last picture was he was in a drone factory in Ukraine, I think, in Kiev, no? That was like the day before he died. So he was like walking around, parading off new technologies, probably signing some sort of type of deal on behalf of the US government. And then within 24 hours, he's announced as dead. I mean, would you even have enough time to get back from Ukraine to the US?
It wouldn't surprise me if something happened. Like he got a little dart in his arm. I mean, who the fuck knows what measures that these people have got these days? Whoever it is, whether it's Putin, whether it was all natural causes. Okay, for me, conspiratorial hat, tinfoil hat. I don't think that's the case. Right? He was healthy. He was fine. He's 72. I think 71, 72, so like not that old, but he died immediately. To me, sorry to say this out of the trap, I got no idea what's going on, no idea at all. So I'm just going to say this as like an opinion that I believe that will be investigated and utilized as a mechanism where they will end up saying it was either Iran, it was either Russia, or it was either something in that kind of axis of evil. And then once you go, well, you killed a sitting US senator, you can't do that. Therefore, America now has to join the war in a more kind of like prevalent front, whether that's the war with Russia or the war with Iran. And on that basis, sorry, but alarm bells are immediately ringing, because in my opinion, every single major terrorist attack, major anything that's happened in the world in the last 50 years, from COVID to fucking to JFK to 9/11 to Libya to Syria to Lebanon to Somalia to everything, every single thing you can point back to inside jobs if you look hard enough. And so I don't know, it doesn't really matter who it was that did it, but ultimately the end game is all that matters, and the end game for me is World War III, or at least America joining on a more permanent basis. Eugenie, what do you say, sir? What do you say?
I think it was too many Ukrainian ladies that he met in Ukraine, and his heart gave out. I mean, that's the only explanation that makes sense. No, but on a serious note, just for some context for you guys who might not be familiar with the politics in the US. So Lindsey Graham is an old school neocon. He's hated by both parties. So the Democrats hate him because he's a neocon, and Trump hates him because he's an anti-Trumper. He's the original anti-Trumper. So the MAGA wing, they hate him, and Democrats hate him. So he doesn't have a lot of influence or power on the current politics in the US. So I don't think as a target, if somebody did take him out, I don't think it achieves kind of any goals as far as the response from the government. He's
what doesn't achieve any goals?
Just killing him. I'm saying if Putin or Ukraine or whoever else, right? If he got killed,
hold on. Hear me out here.
Yep.
It doesn't matter whether you like the guy or you hate the guy. At the end of the day, if you kill a politician, like if you kill an innocent civilian if someone else kills an innocent civilian for your country, you could turn that into a reason to have some sort of international arbitrage with regards to response, right? But sure. if you kill whoever did it, it's irrelevant. But if the if the target ends up being, if the way that the story is processed is that, let's say it comes out in the wash, and who knows, but the evidence is clear, Iran, an Iranian guy, or Putin injected a little bit of something, or direct energy weapons, whatever, anything. Doesn't matter what the fucking cause of death was. But if it turns out they say that was Russia, America have to respond in kind, right?
I think, honestly,
Hillary Clinton will lead the campaign. It was Russia. Russia did it. Russia killed him.
No, but you know what, Nikos, you know what's going to, honestly, everything is about the public sentiment. If Trump comes out and says, we have proof that Russia killed him, people are going to go, whatever. Who cares? No, he's so despised as far as...
Nobody in America wants America to be involved in the Iran-Israel war, but they're doing it anyway. I'm just saying
he is so unpopular with, in the public sphere. Nobody, look, Trump had 2 assassination attempts. People are saying it's Iran, it's this. Nobody even talks about it. It's all covered up, right? Even if they knew who did it, it would never come out because the public doesn't care about Lindsey Graham.
Unless they
despise him.
Unless they want it to.
But the public is not going to be...
Unless the American government are being hoodwinked into going into war, and this is an unequivocal reason to not be able to avoid it. Let's just speculate for a second, right? Israel wants America to join the war with Iran. At the moment, Israel and America are a little bit divided on the way to go about it, right? America's trying to create a peace plan. Israel keeps bombing Lebanon, whatever. Just, again, I'm not trying to create any conspiracy. I'm just putting a speculation out here, right? And then Israel, in this hypothetical, Israel turned around and said, you got to join the war, and America and Donald Trump was like, we don't want it. There's no appetite for it here. Okay, well, fine, don't worry. And then all of a sudden, Graham goes to Ukraine. Russian people aren't welcome in Ukraine, but Israelis are, right? Israel, and Zelensky is a massive friend of Israel, and Israel's a massive friend of the Ukraine, so they're welcome there. They go and say hello to each other. Someone shakes his hand, drops a little bit of something on his wrist when he shakes his hand. The guy goes home, dies 24 hours later. The story comes out. It was because of Iran. It was Iran. It was Iran. All of a sudden, the story is this: USA have to defend their country, and you know what? Can you hear what I'm saying?
Everybody's so tired of war. Oh, go, Nikos. I'll go after.
As I said, they've gone to war for less and stuff like that. But he's a sitting senator. One of the things that stuck out for me is my conspiracy brain likes to work overtime with stuff like this. Is they filled his Senate seat within 48 hours with a family member. I think it was his niece. Was it his niece or his daughter?
Is that right?
Completely unqualified. She works in something completely different. She's never been in politics, and now she's a sitting. I think it's like a temporary senator seat, but maybe there's some sort of type conspiracy where he wasn't agreeing with something, or they wanted to put like a mole in,
Darlene Graham's Lindsey Graham's sister to serve the remainder of his term. What the fuck is that?
But they're all unqualified. There's no such thing as qualified. You know what I mean? They're all unqualified.
That's crazy. To have somebody within 4 hours sitting in his seat, whether it be a family member or anybody else for that matter, that seems to be that was something I picked up on as really fast track.
But
that's mental.
You know why, Nikos? Because the thing is, if they don't put anybody there would be a runoff election, and there's a danger that the Democrats might take that seat. So instead, they're just going, we're going to put our person there, so the Republicans keep control of that seat.
But these are elected officials.
Is Darlene Graham as strongly forthright in her political opinions as Lindsey Graham was? I've got no idea. It's the first time I've ever heard of her. You're just putting into the senator's seat the sister of the last guy.
These are elected officials. To get a Senate seat as well. It's just not like who's your buddy. It's an official position that has to go through a process to be filled. So the fact
isn't the same in the UK though, mate. Keir Starmer's fucked it 10 ways from Sunday, right? He's a complete bozo, right? A World Economic Forum shill. he's been set to one side, and they've got a 600-seat majority or a 500-seat majority, whatever it is in the UK. No one is standing against the new guy that's coming in. And guess what? Shock horror, that geezer, the king of Manchester, he's also a World Economic Forum shill who's been in their cohort for the last 10 years. I mean, like, what the fuck is going on? It's absolutely shameless. If you people vote for a prime minister, they don't vote for a party, right? You either vote, it's Keir Starmer versus the other guy, right? If Keir Starmer fucks up, and by the way, I was saying this when Boris Johnson was voted in and he had to go because of Partygate, right? Like, you don't just get to bring in someone else. No, sorry, if your guy fucked up and he's fucked up so badly that he has to go, a new election. It has to happen immediately on both sides. Conservative, right-wing, left-wing, Labour, I don't give a fuck. You can't just go, this guy can piss off, we're going to bring in another guy who doesn't have the same politics as the person that you voted for. And the current guy who's about to come in is super far left. Super far left. Is going to open the fucking gates to all of the invaders. Yeah. And we've got to wait 2 years before we get a chance to kick this fucker out. It's an absolute disgrace. I'm sorry, I'm taking over the show. I don't mean to be.
Sorry, Eugene. The only thing about this guy who's potentially going to be the replacement for Keir Starmer is he wants the UK to rejoin the European Union. And that's a big thing for me personally. You know, they've made it very difficult, like logistically, and, you know, like the UK needs to be in the European Union. You know, they've killed so many small businesses in the UK by eliminating potential buyers and customers by, no one could do business outside the UK. If you're a small company in the UK, sending stuff to Europe used to be mandatory, used to be a big part of your business. But like since the Brexit stuff, like nothing goes in and out of the UK from Europe anymore. That's a big problem, you know. So like just in terms of like an economic progress, like I think that's a big thing. So like you said, they're all fixed. They're all from the like same schools. They've got the same goals and morals. But at least this guy says something that I like, which is join the European Union.
Which guy said something you like?
Andrew, whatever his name is.
Burnham.
You
like that cunt? Oh, no.
No, I don't like any of them. I don't. Like you said, you've demonetized it
There
already.
it is. And we're off.
We're off, woman. Let's just burn it to the ground. I don't like any of them. Like, let's just make it clear right off the bat. I don't like any of them, any politician, anywhere in the world, any country, because they all serve the same masters. But
he's the biggest fucking donut ever.
They're all donuts, mate.
I am. It's only been, what are we on? 22 minutes.
Yeah, but the only thing about that guy is, like I said, he wants one of his policies, leading policies, will be joining the EU again. And for me personally, on a personal level, that is something that I would like to happen. So
why?
I don't vote, but if I did, that's who I'd vote for.
Why?
I just told you. I just explained it.
Listen, the EU is a stepping stone towards world government.
Of course, it's inevitable. You're not going to avoid it. They've strangled business.
Why are you on board it?
But they've strangled businesses in the UK. I know lots of like smaller businesses and business owners, mate, and their businesses have like fallen off cliffs and died. And there's probably people.
How does being back in Europe solve for that?
Because a lot of the business can be done across the border, but customers.
It can be done anyway.
Small companies like in the UK, they rely on being able to grow the business. You can't grow a business when you've only got 60 million customers. You can't send anything in and out of the country.
You can sell to other people. I'm about to launch my Spurs hub to anybody everywhere. There's nothing stopping people.
I'm talking about like an e-commerce business, that serves actual physical product. You can't ship anything anything that comes into the EU from the UK right now. It goes through a customs process, a higher fee, and customers in Europe who used to buy a lot of product from the UK, regardless of what. That's
not because of the Brexit thing. That is because the politicians want to create an environment deliberately where everybody who voted for Brexit goes, oh, it's too difficult. It doesn't need to be that difficult, Nikos. It's a load of bollocks. It's because both sides, right? Both fucking sides of people that were negotiating the Brexit, none of them wanted Brexit because they're all paid shills by the donuts and the WEF who never wanted it to happen in the first place. Like, Brexit would be absolutely perfect and fine if they were able to negotiate from a point where the people that were on this side actually wanted the thing to happen the way it was supposed to be. It's mental to me that no one can see that the reason why this narrative around Brexit is a failure is because of nothing other than everybody who was in the negotiating room is a paid shill from the European Union, and that has to be the way it is. It didn't need to be like this. It's also no surprise that since Brexit happened in 2014 or 15, whenever it was, like migration from and to European Union countries is down, as was supposed to be, but migration from the Middle East, because of everything that happened since 2001, shot through the fucking roof. And people go, well, Brexit didn't work because it didn't stop the border problems. It didn't stop the fucking border problems because the people who fucking wanted there to be a problem created new problems that we had to be a fucking victim of. Like, it drives me up the fucking wall that no one can see this.
Yeah, completely. Mate, I agree with everything you said, but it is inevitable. Whether you like it or not, it is an inevitable outcome. So, like I said, the only thing that they've killed the GDP in the UK, they've killed small businesses. For people to live a slightly better life, who are business owners, who have an e-commerce business and a physical business, they need to be able to access new customers, and you can't do that in the UK to Europe anymore. The reason why you maybe don't understand it is because if you buy something from the UK now from here, there'll be, say for example, you buy a product. I mean, I think I mentioned before, I got a free gift from Matt Letitia once, and I had to pay like €70 just to receive it. It was a free gift. But anything you buy from the UK comes with a huge surcharge, custom clearance costs, additional.
Because of the situation, mate. It doesn't have to be that way.
It never used to be that way either. When they went into Brexit, it just dismantled not only access to UK products, but also access to European products for UK customers. So, like I said, it's not only that. It's
the problem reaction solution, Nikos. You're sitting there saying it's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of sitting there and saying that because of COVID, I want to wear masks because it's the only way to get to the end of COVID. When in reality, and I know that the only reason COVID was fucking here was because of a psyop. Okay, the people at the top are responsible for the complexities with unnecessary red tape with Brexit. Okay, it doesn't need to be that way. You just have to hold the fucking line and get people into positions of power that can make it better. To go, you know what, it just ain't worth it. Let's go back. That's exactly what they want. And I'm surprised, Nikos, that you are, of all people, are someone that is putting up the argument to go, it's just not worth it. The reason it isn't worth it is because they're deliberately making it difficult to train and to convince people like you or like everybody else to go, yeah, fuck it, let's just go back because it's too hard basket.
I remember life living in Spain pre-Brexit, and I remember living life in Spain post-Brexit, and I know which one was better, and I know which one was more joyful and more profitable and more sustainable, and it isn't this one. So it's just, again, my personal opinion from somebody that has lived in both countries and also benefits.
People can't see the end game, though, mate.
But it's inevitable. The end game's inevitable. There's no decision we can make. No, there's not. It's inevitable, mate. No, not at all. I'm just saying it's inevitable. The outcome is whatever the outcome has been pre-decided. I just want to make my life a little bit easier. So whatever makes my life a little bit easier.
You're giving up on fighting the fight against these bastards at the top.
Mate, they're letting people come in on boats, mate. 10,000 people a week or whatever.
Yeah,
that's the problem. If you can deal with that stuff, it makes the passport, the UK passport, more valuable. But then
fucking Europe.
Yeah, mate.
Right?
They've been doing it, mate.
All you need is some politicians that aren't bought and sold by Israel or by fucking high money, by fucking Qatar, by Saudi, by whoever. We need some people that actually have a backbone to stand up and go, no, fuck you. We're fine by ourselves. We can figure it out. We're an island race. We took over the fucking world long before there was any of these bastards that were controlling everybody. We can handle it by ourselves. Nikos, you're supposed to be one of the guys that holds the line, bro, and you're telling me that you're giving up, mate.
Mate, my opinions are my opinions, and I'm sorry you don't like them, but it's just how it is. Unfortunately, like I said, mate, there are many different reasons why I feel like that's the inevitable outcome, but it is. And I just feel personally the cost of living, the standard of living in the UK has dropped dramatically since Brexit. I think a lot of people would probably agree with me, like in the last 5-6 years, everything's got worse.
But by design, Nikos, come on, mate. You're supposed to be one of us. Like, you're
I know,
supposed to be
I know it's designed like that, but
hey.
they've killed so many small businesses in the UK over the last 5 years. Don't you want to have a
Like,
small
how are
business?
small businesses doing in Europe? They're all fucked.
Well,
What
at
are
least
we
they can.
talking
At
about
least they
here?
can.
By
At
the
least
way,
they can.
did you not see that in Europe last week they passed the first run of the what's it called, the message, the content open, the open content bill or some bollocks, whatever the name of it is, right? Where like now it's passed, and by the way, it was rejected 3 times. 3 times it was rejected by the MEP, the European Parliament, and they just rewrote it, put it through again. It didn't go to a vote, and now it's done. And essentially every single message on your WhatsApp, mate, and on your Signal, and on your Telegram, and on your everything gets sent via a VPN to some government server.
There's nothing we can do to change it, mate. Regardless of whatever.
You've given up.
There isn't, mate. There isn't anything we can do to change it. So just get a little bit of what you want out of it and go with the flow. But they spent decades and centuries knocking down borders. They're not going to put one up just for the UK for a few years. They've done it for a reason, to actually stabilise the currency in the UK and keep the sterling strong. That's what we've done it for. While they devalued everything else. But again, my opinion is my opinion. Sorry you don't like it. It's just this is what it is.
No, that's fine. Your opinion is your opinion. Of course, your opinion is your opinion. But I'm just shocked because you're the guy that stands true to everything. When someone throws like inevitable evidence in your face about the shape of the Earth, you go, "Nah, you're just not there yet. You're just not there yet." Right? I was where you were. Now you're not here. But on this one, you were here, and now you've gone back. What's happened in the last 2 months, Nikos? What's happened to you, bro?
They got to him. They got to him. Or take off your masks. Take off your mask. You're not Nikos. I know Nikos. That's not you.
They gave me a deal to sign, so I signed it.
Yeah. They got to him. No, but
that's why there's no content on my channel. I signed a secret deal with the devil, and now I've decided to just play the other side because it's more profitable.
Is that what we're doing now, Nikos? Have you chosen the dark side?
No, I would never do that.
No, but
I'm just saying my opinion because it's something that I've noticed that I think is of importance to me and people I know. You know, just I don't really care what other people's opinions are on it. Everyone's got their own reasons for one side or the other, but I've lived both sides of it.
I mean, you could make the same argument about people with the COVID thing.
Yeah.
Right? And you stood true with your belief on COVID. Ooh. You can sit and go, well, I see that my friend's grandmother died, and so, but you had no time for those people. But now
it's context, isn't it? It's each individual conversation is separate, isn't it? You know, it's not like you can't white them all because of one decision. I'm just saying, I've lived both sides of it. There are pros and cons to obviously both. I think the outcome is inevitable, whether we like it or not, or we agree with it or not. And I feel like, again, there is some small shining light out of it, which some people might be able to make a little more money back if this anti-government decides
shining light is to fall back into line with the European Union.
Hey, mate, it's inevitable, mate. It's inevitable. It is inevitable.
It's the first time when I'm not the bad guy.
Global government. So is fucking one world. So is monitoring. So is like what are we doing here? Eugene, help me out here, bro.
One world currency. It's all inevitable, Sean. Unfortunately.
Oh,
blink twice, Nikos.
If
you're hostage, if somebody's behind you.
This is not the man that I knew 2 months ago.
If I was a Brit,
I'm sorry you don't like it, mate. It's just my opinion on it all. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Start telling people no, don't do what I want because it makes you feel better.
If I was an Englishman or if I was French, it would be crazy to me that somebody in Brussels or wherever the fuck they are would tell me how to run my country. That's crazy. Again, maybe it's the whole like the American way of thinking. That's nuts to me. That's insane. And I agree with Sean actually. The politicians are the ones who are making life tougher in order to push a certain agenda. But having a say over your country is the right of every citizen. So when somebody outside of your country is trying to impose certain rules and certain, and change your way of life, whatever that might be, for me, that's unacceptable. So,
mate, the US and the UK are controlled by foreign governments anyway, whether you realise it or not. So Israel control both America and the UK,
but not
most of the politicians. So their decisions are coming from somewhere else. They're not organically.
You used to fight against that.
But look at Trump, Nikos.
I do fight against it, but it can't be stopped, Sean.
No, you're not fighting against it anymore. What's happened, Nikos?
I don't fight against it. I'm just saying it's to think that this is some common thing. It's happening everywhere. Like most countries are owned by foreign governments. The US government own half of the Middle East.
No, of course. But you were someone that stood up against that.
I do stand up against it. I'm just saying it would be
No,
my
you
life
don't.
would be a
You
little
just
bit
said you
easier
said
if I could actually do some business with the UK.
What the fuck has happened
Mate,
here?
you'd sell more okay jerseys. If you've got some European clients on board, mate, they'll be fine out the door.
Man, he's compromised. He's compromised.
He's definitely compromised. Nikos, are you okay?
Fine. Absolutely fine.
Wow.
This
Maybe
is
it's the Spain win tonight that's got to my head, feeling more European.
No.
Mate,
You can't.
I'm devastated, bro. I thought you were someone that was like, no, I'll go down swinging. Better to live on your fucking feet or die on your feet than live on your knees. But now you're saying, nah, your knees ain't that bad down here. It's soft ground. What are we doing, mate? What are we doing?
I always love my country, but I always detest that government. And unfortunately, they've ruined that country. The last 20 years since I've lived abroad, mate, I've seen them systematically destroy that country from inside out. So there's been so many things I've disagreed with that have been done.
But EU would be better. But being under EU, you think that's gonna improve conditions in England?
Eugene, your government's PM has just opened the door to like 500,000 illegal immigrants from Africa to get right to stay.
What? When?
6 months, 5 months ago? Are you on board that?
Of course not.
No, sorry,
No,
not you.
well,
Sorry, not
hold
you.
on.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry,
whoa,
not
no.
Eugene. Sorry, not Eugene. Nikos, Spain. Sorry.
Oh, I was like, what?
Sorry, not Eugene. Nikos, Spain. Your government has just opened the borders to 500,000 illegal immigrants to have a right to remain.
Documented immigrants. The alternative is 500,000 undocumented immigrants.
No, they came undocumented. What?
Yeah, but mate, what they've done is they opened applications for 500,000 illegal immigrants to be documented in the system, pay taxes, get a job, and actually partake in society. The alternative to that was we'll send them on boats anyway, and they can just run wild in these streets and be robbing people. So the choice is it's a double-edged sword, really. Pick your poison, like I said earlier. But,
You're in support of the Spanish government.
well, no, I'm not really supportive of anybody like invading countries, but it's happening everywhere, Sean. It's happening in America, it's happening in the UK, it's happening in Spain, it's happening in France, it's happening everywhere. So if I had the choice of picking 500,000 people that didn't have fingerprints in the system, didn't pay taxes, didn't work, I think I would like to have the people that did.
They ain't going to fucking work, mate. They're going to claim benefits. What are you talking about?
At least they're documented, Sean. Now, that's the alternative is not documented and committing crimes that you can't trace them to. That's the choice you're given. It's not like yes or no. It's not like let 500 in or not let 500 in. It's they're coming in. Which way are you coming in?
Fuck has happened to you since the last spoke to you, Nikos? You have changed. You've gone on 180. Mate. I feel like I'm talking to fucking Hayden or fucking like Billy T or something. What's going on? You've gone left wing on me.
It's the socialist government in Spain.
Nothing has changed at all. All I'm saying is it's better for the UK to be part of the European Union. Economically, the GDP will increase and small businesses won't die.
No, it wouldn't. There's absolutely zero fucking evidence that is the case. All that England, the UK needs to do to sort itself out is lower taxes on a corporate level or on a higher level, right? To bring people back. Like this narrative that, wealthy people need to be taxed more. They are mobile. The wealthier you are, the more mobile you are. You can fuck off anywhere else. And there's other countries that will willingly accept you. And guess what happens when the tax burden goes up and the tax receipts go down from the wealthy is that it just gets put on the middle classes. It gets put on you. It gets put on me. It gets put on everybody here. The fucking economics of the UK are fucking simple. Be competitive. Be competitive and you will solve it in a fucking heartbeat. The problem is that the politicians of this world know that there are a lot more fucking lazy fucking idiots who have no ambition, no desire to do fucking anything, and gazillions of other people that are desperate for a better life. I've got no issue with that, by the way, who will come, but they don't offer any fucking value. They don't. So they come, they get documented, they put their fucking hand out with one hand, and with the other, they will vote left. They'll vote Labour. And the politicians worked out a long time ago, better to lose 1 millionaire and gain 10,000 fucking like lazy fucking arseholes who can't do anything because that keeps them in power. It's not rocket science. It's pretty basic math. And anybody that can't see that and listens to the bollocks that is put out on TV about just tax the wealthy, tax the billionaires. There's no billionaires to tax if you put the tax up, okay? It's not fucking rocket science, but people that subscribe to the bullshit that is put out there wind me the fuck up because everyone's got an equal fucking vote. And the people that are voting are the people with their hand out. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what God you want to worship. I don't care what fucking person you want to screw. I don't care what you want to do with your life. If you want to be in my country and you want me to respect you, I want you to contribute more than you take out of the system. And the politicians figured out a long time ago the easiest way for them to stay in power is to bring in more people that don't do that and to piss off the people that do. And the people that are left carrying the fucking baby are people like me and you, Nikos, and you, Eugene, and every one of you motherfuckers that are watching. Like, it's insane to me, Nikos, that you are buying into this bollocks that being in the EU is somehow better than being out of it when...
The problem is like they can't tax people more. The whole premise of your rebuttal there was that they're going to do some adjustment with taxes. The taxes are already at record numbers. They're not going to take them down. They need more people to tax to just keep the system afloat. So either the system implodes or they find a creative way of bringing in more tax revenue. And that's by letting people come into the country who maybe weren't there before. That's why they're building all these houses all over the UK. Yeah, it's not rocket
What
science.
houses are they building? They're not building any fucking houses. They're just taking houses and giving it to people that don't fucking do anything to deserve them.
Well, they're doing record construction in the UK. So in terms of like private property, they're doing record construction. A lot of it is apartment buildings.
And who's buying them? Who's buying those?
The government's buying them and handing them out to people.
No,
like
corporations own nothing. You'll be happy, right?
Probably banks, sort of thing. Probably banks will finance it with free money they're putting. But
it's not record,
anyway,
it's not. By the way, it's not record construction. Guys.
This is painful for me.
I am. I'm incensed because I've lost you, bro. I've lost you. I thought you were one of the boys, mate.
Don't talk about being lost, mate. I don't talk to vaccinated people about being lost. You don't do that.
This is crazy.
You don't do that.
But now you're being a hypocrite, Nikos, because all the people
who said I gotta get a vaccine because of my opinion about a country I don't live in, and then all of a sudden I say something back, and it's like,
no, hold on, because when it was saying, if you want to keep your job, you have to get vaccinated. You were saying, no, stay true. The job doesn't matter. It's financial. Stay true to your beliefs. But now you're taking an opposite approach.
I'm not. You can always make more money. You can't buy more time. So my stance back then was that I want to live longer. So I don't believe that taking this will increase my life expectancy. If actually, I think it'll do the opposite. And I was 100% right, as it's being proven on a daily basis. So, you know, I can always make more money. I'll outlive probably most of you people by not doing that decision. So while you're all dead and buried, I'll be running YouTube channels, you know, in your honor.
I don't know. Whatever is happening in Europe.
I'm happy to admit the worst decision, my biggest mistake in my life was taking the vaccine, 100%. Right, 100%.
Everyone I spoke to, they all say the same thing. No one says, "Oh, my worst decision is getting married or getting divorced or having too many kids." It's all that's everyone I speak to.
You were right then. You were right then. So what the fuck has changed?
I'm not wrong now. All I'm saying is that I see a benefit, a pro and a con, and I'm given a choice, and I'll take the choice that I think is probably in my best interest. The same thing I did back then. So you'll come to learn that that's probably the right way.
I'll come to learn. I'll
come to learn. After 6 years of documents coming out and revelations and books and Joe Rogan talking about it, you're like, oh, do you know what? Actually,
I didn't want to take. I was with you on the vaccine thing. I was with you on the vaccine thing. I just had to take one for me to do my job, right? So
you didn't have to.
Well, I couldn't have done my job. I couldn't have done my job to do it. Either way, we were on the same page. It's just that you stood true, and I had to fold towards something else, right? Which I regret.
True bloods.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, not to be in anyone's face.
Now you are holding like a paper cup on some bullshit fucking economical argument, and you don't like it. You're not being called out for it. What's going on?
I don't care what you're like. Again, you allowed whatever opinion you want. All I'm saying is, like, in terms of my personal opinion, I feel like that would be the best solution going forward for me personally. Call me selfish, call me whatever you want, but the countries have single-handedly destroyed people's lives financially over the last 6-7 years, why not make someone's life a little bit easier? The walls are coming down, sovereignties are getting lost, currencies will be destroyed. You know, there will be a one world government, whether we like it or not. So just is what it is.
What is it? Wow.
Well, I mean,
This is
wow.
Sean
You're
is
not-
speechless for the first time ever.
Wow, I've got you getting
Didn't find
speechless.
any words.
I'll
There
take that as a
will
win.
be a one
That's a
world
win.
government, so just get on board it. Make the best of it whilst you can.
I'm not saying you have to accept it. I'm just saying it's the inevitable outcome. That's what's coming.
Oh my
We all
God.
know that's what's coming. If you've been in conspiracy, we know that's what the end game is. There isn't really a way to stop it, mate, I don't think.
So you're
I don't
not even a
think you've got a
conspiracy
creative
theorist.
answer.
You're not even a conspiracy theorist anymore.
No, I am a conspiracy theorist. Of course. A selfish conspiracy theorist.
I'm stunned. Absolutely stunned.
I'm
I'm
stunned.
probably getting dog abuse in the chat. I'm probably getting dog abuse in chat.
Nah, mate, it's all banter. It's all fun, mate. It's all fun. You know, it's all banter, right? There's obviously, you know, Nikos, I love you to pieces, and Eugene as well.
Anyway, I don't know how you got down that road. I don't know how we spent 40 minutes talking about that.
Oh, because I can't. But I'm stunned. I thought you were being like, no, we got to fight back regardless. We got to be the last man standing. I'd rather die on my knees.
You've got the guns. Are you going to fight back with? We're going to kill
guns.
spades.
But this is what, like, every day I know you because you were someone that was into that.
Mate, the only way you fight back is either by voting, which has been hijacked, or with weapons. And you got neither. So I don't know what the solution would be, but yeah, unless you decide to go and take out a bunch of politicians.
You're giving up. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine, by the way. It's fine if you are. I'm trying to get my head around it. Because, like, I spent 25 years trying to convince my dad and my brother and my mum that the world wasn't the way that they pretended that they thought it was, right? And I remember it being called crazy, fucking idiot by my dad. In fact, he still thinks that way today, even though I've got a story on that one, an update on that recently, which is hilarious. But my brother was always like, I trust you believe in what you're saying, Sean, but like you're working in finance, right? So like, let me just give you a bit of advice. Don't ever fucking mention the World Trade Centers when you're in the office, right? Because people are going to look at you like you're a fucking idiot. I was like, do you think I'm a fucking idiot? He's like, probably, yeah, I do. But I also respect your intelligence and I respect your head on it because I just haven't got the fucking time. And he's always stood true. He's always been my brother's always been true about these things. He's always like, Sean, you might be right. You probably, and over time, over 25 years, when all these things, and I keep saying to him, like, oh, another example of where it doesn't make sense, another example of where the official story, another one. And he's always gone like, Sean, okay, fine, I get it. You're right, right? The world is fucking weird. The world is weird and run by weird people and stuff. Regardless, you can't change it. So my question to you is, how do you profit from it? What's the trade?
That's
right.
what I'm saying.
My dad's always been consistent. My brother's always been consistent. My dad's always been like, no, you're just a fucking idiot, right? You're a lunatic. I've had a bad relationship with my dad recently because of that. But in the last week, he phoned me up and went, have you seen that that video on YouTube about the company Palantir? And you know Palantir, right? Palantir, like big sort of tech company. Peter Thiel, right? Yeah, but like they're a massive tech company that essentially are software based, but they use AI. That it's like defense. For those of you that don't know that are watching, it's a defense company, but it's not like somebody builds bombs. They build software and AI to be able to help governments, whoever, figure out where the bad guys are.
Really, but close. They have enterprise software. What they take is they take a bunch of information and they interpret it, right? So you can have different models and they just interpret it. So it's used for the governments, for like drones, for war, but it's also used in enterprise. So it's not like a war company. And people think they build weapons. You know what I mean? They just build software.
Of course, 100%. Yeah. So I'm saying it's not a defense company as much as they don't build weapons and blow people up, but their technology, their software, and their data analytics is used for a multitude of things. But like 75% of their revenue comes from governments or defense companies who want to use their technology to help find bad guys, and whoever the bad guys are depend on who you ask, right? Anyway, so my dad phoned me up and went, have you seen, because we're both like, you know, shareholders, and I've always felt uncomfortable about owning stock in that company because I don't particularly like what they do, but it's 6x'd in the last couple of years, right? So I made some decent money out of it, and I've always been like uncomfortable with owning stock in it because I don't like who they are, what they do. I hate the fucking company, but money's got on money. And so my dad said, have you seen this video? It was on CNBC and it's now on YouTube. And I said, no, not yet. Why? What is it? He said, it's very bearish. And I was like, well, bearish, for those of you who don't know, meaning bad news for the company. I said, well, why is that? And he said, well, basically it plays into the cards, plays into your hand. I went, what does that mean? He went, yeah, basically if it's true, and I guess it is, then it kind of essentially means that what you've been saying about these sorts of companies is essentially right. I was like, oh, wait, sorry, Dad. What was that? An acknowledgement that Butler, your son, was right? Was that? And he went, oh, funny. So, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Those people that have got their worldview and they don't like admitting it, right? But over time, things like, and Nikos, me, we were on the same page for the last since I've known you, but all of a sudden you're abandoning shit, bro, and it's upsetting to me, man.
Mate, we agree on a lot of stuff. There's a few things we don't agree on, and that's all right. But you haven't got to take it too personally.
I don't take it personally. It's just part of the content. It's all part of the content. Anyway, should we move on? Should we get some videos going? Should we get some videos?
Lots of things to talk about is Mitch McConnell as well.
Mitch McConnell, yeah. Well, he was brain dead anyway, wasn't he? Wasn't he just like dementia driven?
He was in a wheelchair. He was a vegetable.
Yeah. I mean, people are saying he's still alive, but is he alive or is he dead?
I don't think it matters.
Evil man. Evil man.
He's a seat in the Senate. He has a seat in the Senate. But it's kind of important.
It's not the first time. There was a congresswoman from San Francisco, Dianne Feinstein. She was brain dead for like 4 months, but she was still officially on the ballot during the elections, and she got elected, even though everybody knew that she was completely like out of it. So it's dirty politics. Like nobody cares. It's a system.
Yeah, I think he was like long brain dead. Listen, we've got a fourth man coming into the crew before we start getting into the WhatsApp, into the video. And the fourth man is someone that I've got I hope he's been watching. I hope he's been watching a little bit, right? Because he is someone that has always stood right between me and Nikos, and I want to find out how this man feels.
Teflon.
Teflon John. Teflon John's in the house. Big up to you, Teflon. How are you, bro?
What's going on, sir?
Doing good, guys. How are you?
Yeah. Do you think I'm crazy for wanting to pay less taxes?
Why do the other guys want to pay more taxes then?
Well, it seems like they want to pay more money, and they seem to make me out like I'm some bad guy because I want to pay less money to people that I don't want to pay money to.
That's not the crux of the argument, Nikos. Come on now, John.
I mean, that's the gist of it, isn't it?
John, have you been watching?
I saw some of it. Yeah, I was quite shocked actually. What?
Sorry, John. I'll let you down.
No, it wasn't you. It was the hypocrisy.
Oh no! Oh no!
Uno reverse card. Reverse card.
You, Jordan.
Me?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Well,
wait, John. Before you, can you turn your phone? If you're on your phone, can you turn your phone sideways just for the aesthetics of the screen, just so it pivots to the.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah, that's it. Turn it that way.
It's gonna flop. The phone, that is. Hold on a minute.
We've got some moron in the chat here called Danny. He's saying, no, you want the UK to rejoin the EU, you pleb. I pay taxes in both countries, you pleb. Stop being stupid.
Hang on, but
wait, now Nikos is fighting with the chat. I love it.
It's just like, I look down and see my name and someone's calling me out because it's like, do you not want to make...
Nikos, it's all fun, mate. I'm sorry if you feel like you're being attacked, bro. It's just a bit of fun, mate. It's just a bit of fun.
Is that better or is that...
No, it's not down. Now. You're fine. Yeah, just go. Stay there. It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
Whatever. You're fine, John. You're fine.
All right. Why am I being a hypocrite then? Come on, Johnny boy.
Well, you said about what Nikos says he shouldn't be doing and what he should be doing, but you bloody took the vax. I mean, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, but I didn't want to.
Well, don't then. I didn't want to, so I didn't.
No, but
I could have gone travelling and I refused to. I said, no, I don't want to go.
Yeah, but I had, listen, it's the biggest regret of my life, but you have some bills to pay, right? And at the time, my job was about traveling. All of my clients were in America and Australia. I didn't have any UK clients. So if I couldn't travel, I couldn't do my job. I would lose all my clients. So There's
But
priorities.
that's more important than your health.
Can we get more money? Can we get more money? Can't get more
No,
time.
but there's a different thing here. There's a different thing here because Nikos is saying he doesn't have. Nikos's argument is I don't have to subscribe to this, but I choose to. And by the way, Nikos is business. It's not Nikos's money that's affected. He's making this argument because he said his friends have businesses that are struggling with the consequence.
I do know people that have had their lives destroyed by Brexit because they run small businesses that now have completely lost all their customers. So I know people in that situation, but I have my own personal situation that is more financially beneficial from being in the EU, and I live in the EU, so it's not rocket science, is it?
No, but there's a massive difference between having to make a decision that you don't want to make, that you wouldn't otherwise take because you have to because you've got bills to pay, versus deciding that it's better for you to choose to go and support a path that goes back towards a method that you know deep down is something that leads you towards an outcome that has always been your antithesis of what you see the world as being a part of.
Yeah, mate. The element of the optics of a choice that you think that you've got right now, I don't think that you actually have a legitimate option. I know what the outcome is, and the outcome is the UK will be part of a one world government. It will be part of a one world currency. So the whole idea of one border around your country right now that's being invaded by immigrants is
on that basis. Then you'll be absolutely fine with the idea of central banking digital currencies. You're just going to jump on board that.
Just get involved with currencies now and try and, like I said, where's the win? Where, like, when you find a conspiracy, you've got to find, how do I make money out of this, rather than thinking, poor old me. You think, how do I make money out of this?
That wasn't the version of you that we were speaking to 3-4 months ago.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But how do you make money out of it now? Now you know there's one world currency coming, digital enslavement system. How do you make money out of it? I just tried to figure out the way that you can make money out of the inevitable outcome. That's all.
That's crazy.
That's either way, whatever. That's fine if you want to do that. But that's the difference. That's different.
You said, sure, no, I'll take the vax so I can work.
No. It's a false
He's
dichotomy.
saying a similar thing. He's saying, well, I'm going to make the most of the situation.
It's a false dichotomy, John.
And we're in.
No, but I'm doing it with Matt. Like, I hated I had to do it, whereas Nikos is voluntarily getting on board it.
Mate, one thing I disagree with, and all of a sudden I'm like the enemy of the state, you know?
You're the enemy of the state. No, mate, it's just a conversation. It's a conversation. I think it's serious.
So if Nikos says, okay, I disagree with it and I'm opting out, it all stops then, does it?
So, John, are you on board what Nikos is saying then?
Well, I agree with him where he says, how can I stop it? What is he going to do if he says, "Oh no"?
So you want to rejoin Europe? You want to rejoin Europe?
If he says, "I don't want a one world government," this and that, so it all stops then.
Do you want to rejoin Europe?
Okay, because one person says it's not going to happen. We're not going to do it.
Do you want to rejoin Europe?
Do you know what? We used to pay for Spain's road maintenance, the UK. There's a lot of things that people don't know about. Because I knew.
Yeah, so you'd happily go back and pay for Greece, all those motherfuckers in Greece that retired at 55, and when they were told, you know what, they have to retire at 60. Meanwhile, the British people are retiring at 72, and they tear up fucking Athens. Do you remember that? We were paying 500 million quid, or was it 5 million or 500 million or 5 billion a year? We were paying all those motherfuckers in Greece to retire early to sit on their boats. Do you remember that? Are you okay with joining back into that system so we can help motherfuckers in Greece have a nice cushy lifestyle whilst we have to work till we're 72? Are you on board joining back into that system because Nikos is okay with the idea?
You're assuming the UK. You're assuming. Sorry, Sean. You're assuming the UK is what it once was, and it's not. It was an industrial powerhouse many decades ago, and it's not. The industrial powerhouse in Europe right now is Germany. They make by being part of the European Union, maybe they'll pave the UK roads in the future.
No one's paving the fucking UK roads. What are you talking about?
I'm saying,
because why is that? Because the taxes.
Europe, this is the argument that's never made by the fucking liberal media, and it's never made by anybody in government because they don't want to be a part of the thing that there has to be an argument prescribed for to make it make sense. But they all are bought and paid shills by the fucking World Economic Forum, and so
Yeah, we
there's
know
never
that.
a strong argument. Okay, put me in front of a camera in front of the BBC, and I will answer the question no one can ever answer: is what's so good about Brexit? I won't explain what's great about Brexit. I'll explain why Brexit was fucking ruined before it started, because everybody that was on the pro side wasn't really a pro. They were a shill for the fucking con. And ultimately, there is a million reasons why you don't want to be a part of Europe that never gets mentioned. It's not because what's better about being out of Europe. It's about what was the consequences of being in Europe. Okay, and paying for some fucking Greek prick to sit on his boat and retire at 56, or to pay for some fucking donut in Austria who's opened the fucking door to 1,000 more fucking boats and 1,000 more fucking immigrants than we have, and we've got enough of our own. We have enough problems with our own society. We don't need any more. And all of a sudden, two people who were part of my crew on that have decided to make the advocate argument that actually, you know what, it's a little bit difficult. It's difficult. So let's fucking hand over 100 grand of my life savings to Stavros so he can sit on his fucking boat and drink fucking whatever it is they drink, aniseed drinks. Fuck off.
You're taking it too personally, mate. That was just a bad government run bad. But mate, how many hot Spanish chicks have moved to the UK in the last 5 years? None. How many hot French chicks have moved to the UK in the last 5 years? None. How many hot Germans? None.
That's not the argument.
You're being depopulated without even realising it, and you're missing out on all the European young ladies.
I am stunned that Nikos, you changed your tune in the last 2 months, and I can't believe that, John, you've come in and defended Nikos.
Maybe you're in the wrong. Maybe you're in the wrong then. Maybe you're in the wrong.
I'm not in the fucking wrong, bro.
That's
I'm
what
in the right. You've lost your mind. You've lost your mind.
No, but you're saying you took the jab to work. Well, you didn't need to do that. You could work somewhere else, do something different. You compromised your health and your principle.
I didn't know I was compromising my health. I didn't know I was compromising my health.
Sorry?
I didn't know I was compromising my health. I had a resistance and a reluctance to take it.
What? So you didn't know what it possibly was before you took it? You claim you were a conspiracy theorist and you were talking about 9/11 back when you worked in the city, yet you didn't think that you knew it might be sinister.
Yeah, I didn't want to take the jab. I didn't want to take the jab, mate, but I had bills to pay. Listen, John,
I had things to do.
You want to come in with a contrarian, hypocritical argument? That's fine. Do you want to jump? Do you want to rejoin Europe, John, or are you just being contrarian for the sake of it?
Do I want to rejoin Europe? Yeah. Well, whatever you do, it's never going to be ideal, is it? Because the people that control it all are not going to have it the public's way. They're not going to do it how you want it or how I want it.
That's not the point. That's not the question.
Not the point.
The question is, do you want to do it?
Do you want to do it?
Well, if it's done right, but it won't be.
So what's the answer? Do you, yes or no?
Well, why do you want a definitive answer? Because you're looking at a black and white, aren't you? You're looking to go on a site.
No, you've come into the conversation, John. You've come into the conversation calling me a hypocrite, which is fine, by the way. I'm great to see you. Great to see you.
Thanks for inviting me in.
Knock the door down. Come in, please.
Remember that.
The invite of the show started 2 minutes before you got the invite, mate. So don't
exactly. Yeah, but you sent out an invoice to Nikos earlier than that, and you sent me one minute before.
No, I literally made the show start on my live stream. Anyway, whatever. We'll pass that later on. You've come into the show and decided to make out like I'm in the wrong about my take on European Union because.
No, I didn't say that. I said
no one's wrong.
You're criticising other people for their decisions, but you're not putting your hand up for yours.
Those decisions. I'm questioning Nikos's flip-floppery, because this is Nikos, the guy who believes the world is flat, the guy who believes that 9/11 was an inside job, the guy who believes that Israel is the source of all of the world's problems. This is the guy who is the king of every conspiracy being true, and yet all of a sudden, the EU and rejoining it is a better idea than the exit plan from it. And I'm like, that doesn't make it does like that.
Because I understand the inevitability outcome. I understand the outcome. So I understand where this road ends. And I just know that there's a slight.
Okay. on that
benefit
basis,
for me in the middle there.
So do you also believe that the outcome ends with Israel owning the Greater Israel Project, right? Where they're going to take over Turkey, Egypt, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and then all that.
What are they doing?
Israel will get destroyed. Israel will get destroyed. Israel will get destroyed.
Going somewhere, right? If you believe that the end times, like if you believe that it's all going to a certain destination, then why would you resent Israel? You might as well just get on board it. But you don't.
I'm already there. I said in the end game, Israel will be destroyed. So whether or not you play this middle game now, where they're starting wars with people, they're just turning the narrative now for people to eventually turn on them. And down the road, they will become the enemy, the public enemy number one. And that's just the inevitable outcome. I was just early to the party.
Yeah, that's been in the playbook.
What is happening? Oh my.
Well, I didn't change my narrative on anything. All I've said is that I think it's a good idea to join the European Union, and literally World War IV's kicked off in here after the last hour. But it's nice to have John back on board. It's nice to have Eugene and Sean back together.
It's not about your choice. It's not about what you believe in. It's that the turn that you've made from earlier shows, even for me, because you were
no point have I ever said, I'm happy that the UK is separate from the European Union, because I never have been happy with it, because it's made my life more difficult. So I've never ever flip-flopped anywhere. But all I'm saying now is the guy that's coming in is the first guy that's actually publicly said one of his policies will be, I think this is a better outcome for the UK people, which have been fooled and had their businesses destroyed over the last 5 years by being part of a Brexit group.
But
my narrative has never changed.
But those outcomes are engineered. Look, for young people in the chat, if you haven't been around during Brexit or whatever, look what's happening in New York right now and California. In New York, right now, all these the new wave of immigrants came in who want the handouts. Now all the socialists that are rooting Europe now are in New York. They want to raise the taxes in California too. They want to raise the tax on unrealized gains, which is insane. So now everybody with money is leaving California and is leaving New York. So it's playing out right in front of our eyes. In a year, New York is going to be poor, broke. California is going to be broke. California used to be number 3 economy in the world, the richest state in the US. It's going to be broke because all these people who they have no ideas. All they can do is raise taxes. So whatever is happening in Europe is playing out here in New York and California. So saying that because of Brexit, certain outcomes are happening, to Sean's point, these outcomes are engineered by politicians who want to engineer certain things, right? And blame it on Brexit or blame it on, immigration or blame it on whatever. So the issues that you for example, you said that England is not an industrial country anymore. Why is that? It's
not an industrial powerhouse. It used to be an industrial powerhouse. Then Margaret Thatcher closed down a lot of the infrastructure for the industrial complex that was there. And now it is running on fumes in terms of what it makes as a country compared to other countries. Other countries in Europe, like Germany.
But why is all the innovation in the States? Why is all the innovation, all the tech companies, everything new is not in Europe? It's in the States, right? It's taxation.
Tax policies. 100%.
Yeah, it's tax policy. And also in the States, people feel like if they risk something, they can become rich. They can make money. In Europe, that's not how it is. So why would I risk my well-being, my financial well-being, and make fuck all and pay for somebody in Greece, as Sean said, right? So that's what's killing Europe.
I'm absolutely stunned that there is not a level of comprehension of that being a part. The UK can do what it wants. We are currently run by absolute left-wing, absolute dickheads of the highest order that want us to rejoin the EU. And the EU is regionally run. I'll say it on this because it's the right platform to say it. Satanists, right? Demonic fucking dickheads that have only the worst intentions for Europe. There is a replacement that's going on. Everyone in Europe, every single country in Europe is being overrun by people that aren't from there. It's open border policies because they are all bought and paid for shills by the WEF. The only chance Britain has to survive that is by being out of Europe and by finally having a government that takes over and says something to this same tune. As much as I think that Donald Trump is a fucking idiot and a corrupt prick for what has happened since he's come back into power. And by the way, I am no fan of the Democrats. I'd rather have any version of corrupt right wing than the corrupt left wing by a thousand times over. But that doesn't just like in any way, shape, or form mean that I think that Donald Trump is less of a complete weirdo, prick, and an absolute scumbag than he is. But I need my country to be run by its own countrymen, not by bureaucrats that are absolute demonic, Satan-worshipping fucking idiots. And Nikos, you were of that mindset the last time we spoke to you.
What you want?
Give up and go back. Let's just fucking let.
Mate, what you want is a dream.
Whatever her name is, fucking take over.
Mate, what you want is a fallacy. It's a dream. It can't be achieved. The Fabian Society own all the politicians. Israel pay all these politicians. What they want is what will happen, not what you want, not what I want, not what John wants or Eugene wants. None of what we want matters.
Your argument just to say fuck it, just hand it over.
Mate, like I said, you either get with the program or you sit and cry about it. And like I said, there are just certain things. There's just certain things. Mate, someone said in the chat there. Someone said some in the chat there as well. I caught very, very quickly. It's like, will you get a chip? No, I won't get a chip. The same way I didn't get a vaccine. The same way I will make more money and I'll defy later on. So like I'll defy whatever the implementation of the control is. I'll just figure out.
But you're arguing for the rest of the people that aren't quite as like cocksure about that to just fucking jump on board reallocation towards the EU because it's inevitable anyway.
It's not really that big of a deal, mate. It's really not that big of a deal, to be honest. It's not that big of a deal. It's really not.
It is a fucking big deal. It's a big fucking deal. The only chance you have is by self-determination.
You're in a prison in England right now. You've got walls around you. You've got invaders coming in on every single boat that will send them.
And that isn't happening in France and in Spain and in Portugal and everywhere else.
Yeah, but mate, you're in a little island, a tiny little island compared to the rest of us. There's at least some sort of a leverage when you got land. When you got no land, you're worrying why like some people might want to change the policies.
How does Australia?
I'm stunned, mate. You sound.
How does Australia stop the boat?
Cards in my WhatsApp group.
Yeah, but Australia have a very, very strict immigration policy.
Exactly. Why can't England have it? Why can England do what Australia does?
Because
they could if they wanted to.
Why can't England have what Poland has?
Yeah, mate, because the people that are in control won't do it, and there's no way of changing the people that control the country.
Because of these current donuts.
Exactly.
But if you go back and join the EU, that decision's done.
Mate, you get rid of these donuts. The next lot are ready on the conveyor belt to come in.
100%. But you hope, whilst you are self-determining your future, technically, whilst you're not part of the EU, that you can eventually, hopefully, get enough people that don't fucking abscond their previous thoughts like you lot are.
Sean, I'm shocked that you actually believe that anything will change. I thought you knew that it was all under the same puppet masters.
Yeah,
but that's
the only chance that you have of finding the change is if you stay self-determined.
Chance, though? What
implementing the change?
What chance? Come on, what chance?
So you've given up as well. You've given up as well, John, have you?
What do you think's going to happen if they change the government? We have an election tomorrow, and they go, "Oh, there's a new party running the show now." Do you think, it's all going to be bloody, sweetness and light?
Hang on a second. What do you? If there's 1% chance that our country can redetermine itself and get back to a world like Poland has, like Hungary has, if there's a 1% chance that happens, does that 1% chance manifest by being part of the EU or being isolationist, being a nationalistic party? Where does that 1% chance manifest into potential hypothetical realities?
On
what world do you think that's going to happen?
Yeah,
answer the question that I asked you.
Mate, the only way that could happen is if the money's cut off. So
it's not a reasonable question. It's a fantasy land.
People have got to start paying taxes. People
realize that you believe it.
Answer the question. Don't answer a question with a question. If there's 1% chance, if there's a non-zero chance that England can find its way back to its own self-determination away from the bollocks that is currently being prescribed.
That's not going to happen, is it? Come on.
In a world where there is a non-zero chance it could happen, is it more likely to happen where English people and British people get to self-determine, or is it under the EU law?
Mate, there's no chance. It's
No,
0%. It's 0%. There's no 1%. 0% chance that will ever happen because they control everything.
You know what? What the fuck are we doing here?
We close the borders.
Mate, they've took the guns away. They've took the voting away. They've swayed public policy with controlled media. They've given everybody weapons, and people have still not revolted against any of the government. And the people that have got lined on conveyor belts to come in and give you shit salesman speeches are ready to go. Mate, there's 0% chance they control every aspect of what the outcome will be, and there is a 0% chance there's any type of liberation or freedom in the UK. They've just done the same thing to America. They hoodwinked them with the whole Trump thing. Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
You guys are English.
I feel like I'm talking to French. He's going to be our saviour. He's going to beat Biden. He's going to beat Harris.
Hold on a second. They closed the border. Hold on. The border closed.
Believe that two people that were conspiracy theorists last time we spoke have become shills for a fucking...
Yeah, but I'm not
you took so long.
You believe that it could happen, that it's going to change. That's what I'm shocked. Come on,
that's not the question, John. It's a hypothetical. It's an if question.
Yeah, but it's a bloody ridiculous question.
It's not a ridiculous question.
It is a ridiculous question.
It happened in other places. Poland, Hungary, Australia doesn't let the boats in. Even Trump closed the borders here.
I know people that live in Australia. You think that no one's fucking allowed in there. That ain't Australians. It ain't happening. I know Australians that live there. They say we get loads of our fair share. It's just because you're shown something that you think is different.
It's not as bad as in
Europe.
You
don't know. You don't live there.
It's not as bad as in Europe, right?
What's that?
It's not as bad as in Europe, where it's an open
you don't
door.
know. You don't live there.
I live in Europe.
Europe's
not bad you think.
There, and they tell me, they say, yeah, it ain't that great either. But how do you know it's not going to go over there soon?
It's bad everywhere. It's bad everywhere.
Exactly.
I know that. I lived in Australia 10 years ago, right? It was fantastic. It was a beautiful place. I speak to my mates, my best mates there. It's gone off the fucking cliff, right? There's fucking machetes and
exactly.
That doesn't mean that you just sit there and go, oh, fuck it. What has happened to you two?
What do you mean, oh, fuck it?
It's sensitive. It's not about that, mate. It's just
I know
the inevitable outcome
establishment.
is what I think it is. And there's nothing...
Like you said to Stel, so because you stand on the side of the road and campaign against Levy and Enoch, that's going to change it, is it? That's the same philosophy as what you're saying to us.
Yeah.
Oh, so you go against it and it'll all change.
Their version
going to change.
Their version of protesting was irrelevant because they weren't prepared to do things. But there are people out there in the UK that are willing, and that you can. There's going to be, if you can't see that the UK is a powder keg that is going to explode.
What do you mean if I can't see? You can't bloody see it, but you're living in a fantasy land. If you think it is going to change for the better, it isn't.
Yeah.
You must be crazy. You said to us you can't believe that we're shilling. No, we're realists. We're realists.
Yeah, the COVID vaccine.
You're accepting it. Listen, if there was a fucking
you're accepting that it could change, but it won't. You're thinking that that's possibly going to happen.
You'd rather die. You'd rather live on your knees. I'd rather if there was a.
Hold on a minute. I didn't get the fucking jab. You did. I didn't get it. I said, "Fuck that! I ain't getting."
Why are you bringing it back to the jab? Why are you bringing it back to the jab? You're the person
because that was the beta test.
Because
that
you're
was the
saying that I'm a
test.
skill, and you're saying I'm
the jab was the
just bowing to it and letting it all happen.
That's a false dichotomy.
You are the equivalent of taking the jab right now, John. You're taking the jab metaphorically fucking now, bro.
So what are you doing then? What are you doing? Why aren't you at Parliament then kicking off? What are you doing?
Wait, come on. I go to protest, bro.
Where? Oh, you go to a protest. What does that do?
What do you mean?
What have the protests done? Have they changed anything?
I think we need a time out. I think someone's got a call time out. I think someone's got a talk time out. Look at a video or something.
I got to run in a minute. Can I just last word? Just 10
seconds.
By the way, I thought it's funny when John said, "I'm a realist."
Yeah.
To me, that was funny.
Subject. Sorry, surely you take it so personally. I stance on certain things, but there's always more things we can debate on.
No,
I haven't taken anything personally. I'm stunned that you guys have changed. Like, you just don't represent. You represent liberal, libtard, fucking dickhead, left-wing policies right now, both of you.
And no, that's what you're saying.
The people that I knew, the version of you that I knew last time we spoke, would be standing up for the things that we're talking about. But you're on the wrong side of the coin, or the different side of the coin.
That's your opinion. Then you
it is my opinion. Yeah,
it
is my opinion. 100%.
And mate, in my opinion,
you don't know us at all.
Vaccinated are controlled by divvies, and their opinion doesn't really matter for much for me. So, mate, you see, you know, like.
But if you have a job and they're saying if you don't get a job, you cannot work, and you have kids at home and you have to pay, how is that different?
A real man in that situation, if you're forced into a corner like that, a real man with sovereignty, he finds another way. He doesn't concede.
It's easy to say if you're not in that position. It's very easy to say when you're not in that position.
I was a business owner at that time. I conceded everything because I'd stood by what I believed in, and I still do. I'm sorry for people that were sitting doing it, but I was given the option, and I decided what I felt was.
But now you're not. That's the
point. How is he not?
Because he wants us to go back to Europe. Because his mates have got a business that
it's absolutely irrelevant.
It's the same thing.
Do with it.
Yeah, it's irrelevant.
Everything to do with the conversation, John. You only joined 5 minutes late, 25 minutes in. What are you talking about, bro? Like the whole conversation.
What are you talking about, bro? You invited me in 1 minute before the bloody show started.
Stop it! Why are you? If you don't want to be here, bro, you haven't got to be here, mate. I don't.
You're bringing up the point and saying I've only just come in. Well,
yeah, because your point is you don't know what we're talking about. If you think that we weren't talking about Europe, we were talking about rejoining Europe before you got here. That's how we got on this conversation.
I know what the conversation is. Chill out.
Yes,
Personally, I'm just. You are.
Look at you. You're getting really wound up.
Yeah. If I'm wound up, mate, then I don't know what the fuck wound up looks like because I'm more than happy. I'm stunned by the pivot in your two's behaviour from the versions of you that I knew last time. I couldn't care less. Not in any way wound up.
You know, you do care. You care a bit too much.
Hey, Sean, come to America. Europe is done.
Go to America, mate. Go to America. They're letting Mexicans and South Americans in there.
We're not. That's the point. And we got guns. See?
Oh, right. You guys are giving up. Only a few years ago, no?
No. Hey, look.
Trying to get one out.
Maybe we should go to Mexico because they're all trying to get into America.
Oh, we're going to live on an island somewhere. We're going to live on an island somewhere.
We don't jail people for Twitter posts. We don't do any of that stuff yet. Yeah, that's why it's scary what's happening in Europe. But again,
mate, it's happening everywhere. That's what I said earlier.
But guns are a big deal.
It's the plan.
People here got guns. So that's
it. That's it. Mate, if America decided they didn't want it, at least they would have some sort of type of way of revolting. In the UK, you got absolutely no chance. And
that's why I'm surprised. It's a mentality thing.
It was a test. It was a compliance test. And 94% of the country complied. So I understand I'm in a minority, but
you know
unfortunately,
what?
They've worked out that people wouldn't fight back about anything. If you can't control your own sovereignty of your body, what are you going to care about anything else?
No, but the reason, again, because but the reason why I'm surprised outside of Sean is it's a mentality thing, because I figured English mentality is similar to American mentality. If you were French or Belgian, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense because they're all about all that.
Yeah, we're an island race, bro. We're an island.
But I figured that you guys are different. But
we are different, mate. We are different.
I don't know. Not anymore, Shawnee. Not anymore.
Well, apparently not. Apparently, my sort of comrades on the right have abdicated their throne. By the way, just to be entirely clear, I might sound like I'm aggressive, but it's because of these. It's not because I'm actually aggressive in my mind. The Magnums turn me into a bit of a different monster, but I'm not in any way, shape, or form. I'm enjoying the conversation. Big up to you, Eugene. Thanks for coming on, man. Love you, mate. Love you. Carry on, or we can leave it. To be honest,
carry on. Get a video going. I was saying, change this subject. It must be boring for the viewers.
All right, let's change the subject.
Yeah, change the subject, mate. Let's move on. We don't agree on that one, obviously.
I can't believe I spent an hour and a half on it. The whole time, I feel like if John thinks I'm aggressive or whatever, then or overly concerned, I'm really not. I'm just on the Magnum. The Magnums turn you into a bit of a fucking wild one. Yeah. Let me get this on the screen and let me see if I can load the wheel. Hang on a second.
What we got on these videos? What have you been loading up?
It could be anything. Let's find out what's going on. Here we go. Can you see it on the screen?
Oh, is it a Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah. It's cool.
Nobody in the Pentagon said, "Hey, we can't do this," because if they close the Strait of Hormuz, there's no way we're going to be able to stop them from unclosing.
Everybody in the Pentagon said that. Yeah.
Then why did we do it?
Because Pete Hegseth came in and said, we won't have to do that. The Israelis have told me that they're going to kill Khamenei on day one. We're going to come in with the most massive air power ever seen. is because we wanted to hit 1,000 points on the ground a day for a period of time to create the impression of American invincibility. And the Iranians quit. And that way we don't have to do any of this. Just so you understand, one of those 1,000 points was a girls' school that should never have been struck.
Yeah, I know.
We struck hospitals, the whole thing. This is the most criminally minded war plan in the history of war plans.
Is it criminal or stupid or both?
Criminal. When you're the Secretary of Defense and you're required by, we have a Law of Warfare Act. If you violate the Geneva Conventions grossly, there's a death penalty. Hegseth came in and said, I'm doing away with all the rules. I'm disbanding that unit. We're going to disregard the Law of Warfare Manual. We want increased lethality. And so when he said we're going to put 1,000 bombs on 1,000 targets a day, he was saying, I don't care what you kill. We kill things and break things, he said. That's what we do. There was intent, criminal intent from the very start. So this was criminal and incompetent. What I don't understand is why the JCS didn't resign en masse. This is a leadership failure on the part of the most senior military officers. And now they're in a situation where they're going to have to try and do something they know they can't do. If we send Marines across the beach and they die, people need to go to jail.
It's not wrong.
Not wrong. We were on that one. Eugene's getting rattled because we bring up Israel as soon as he leaves.
There's a fucking lot. The wheel brought up Israel, bro. The wheel brought up Israel. What are we doing? I didn't bring up Israel. The wheel brought it up.
What's your view on all that then? The Strait of Hormuz said what he's saying. What's your view on that one?
Listen, I personally think that it is, you talk about inevitability, and here's where I would agree with you. I think that the war is an inevitability. I think that let me get this for a second. Let's talk about it for a second, right? And by the way, let's lower the apologies to everybody and to you, Eugene, and to Nikos and to John. I'm really not in any way, shape, or form angry or wound up. I've had a few. The Magnums followed. I had 3 or 4 Thatchers over the World Cup game, and then the Magnums send me into an energetic mode. So it wasn't really. I wasn't really like.
That's right.
Animosity based.
Healthy debate. I'll call it like we get.
I am surprised by the stance. But either way,
I wasn't even saying that I want to be in Europe or out of it. That's the thing.
No, you just came in picking a fight. You just came in playing the
hypocrisy going on here.
Well, there isn't though. But either way.
Nikos, did you hear me say I think we should be in Europe or out of it?
No, he asked you directly, and you said no. Because he said
exactly,
the people that were controlling it wouldn't do it fair.
John's answer was the same as yours. If it's inevitable, then why worry about it?
Mate, it's not like you don't worry about it. It's like there's certain things you can't control. There's things that are outside your control. And you can either go to bed at night sweating about it, getting angry about it, and all that stuff, or you can find the loophole where you can financially sort of make something out of it. And
if everybody took that approach to everything in life, then we would be far further along in the world. The World Economic Forum.
It's rare that I do that.
The reason why we're not as far along as we would be is because certain people didn't just take it lying down.
It's like I've got a mate, and he's into politics, and he's very angry about Labour getting in. And he said, "All you lot who voted Labour, it's all on you." And he said to me, "You're part of the problem because you didn't vote." And I said, "Yeah, but I don't believe in voting. I don't think it does anything."
I don't believe in voting either. I agree with you on that.
So he will blame people like me because he's saying you're just as bad. But I say to him, "But I don't believe in it. I don't think."
Okay, but can you agree with this at least, right? If everybody took the approach in life of things that they didn't like, that would require more than one person to be able to say no for it to stop, then nothing would ever change.
Yeah, but I have taken action on many things which you don't know about, and I don't know what you've done.
Hang on. I haven't finished my point, mate. If everybody in life took the approach of, fuck it, it's outside of my control because I'm just a single person, if everybody did that, then there would have been no investigation into JFK. There'd been no investigation into Charlie Kirk. There'd be no investigation into 9/11. There'd be no investigation into COVID. There'd be no investigation into anything, and everybody would just go, "Oh fuck it, it's too hard basket. I can't fight against the tyranny. I can't fight against the message." Right? But there are people out there, and thank fuck, not just one or two, but hundreds of thousands that through the internet get together, collaborate, and conform and get towards an idea where there is reasons why you know what you know about the way the world works, John. Because if those people didn't exist and didn't present the information that they do, then you wouldn't know how the world works. You wouldn't. right? Neither would I. Neither would anybody watching this. Same with you, Nikos. So the reason why you have this, the suspicion and the skepticism around the way the world actually works versus what is presented to you is because people that have gone before you have had the stones to stand up and say, I don't fucking trust this shit. So if everyone takes the path that you're now advocating, John, which is, what difference does it make? You can't stop it anyway. If everyone did that, we'd all be in fucking chains. The reason why we're not yet is because in the past, enough people have caused enough havoc to cause and for pause for thought for the people that are ultimately will power. Now, it doesn't mean that we won't ultimately all be in chains in the end anyway, and maybe we are already, but it's because of people that don't follow that train of thought that we're not there yet, at least physically.
But maybe it's part of their plan that we're not there yet.
It's a long game. It's a long game.
Like all of those things that Eugene was talking about.
Why would it be part of the long game? Why wouldn't they just do it? Why wouldn't
they've all been part of the plan?
They realise that you can't implement these changes in a short period of time. So what they do is they do it over generations.
Why not?
Because they know that's the natural way of things.
They know that's the natural way to stifle the revolutions and things like that happen in the past.
People have revolutions. Exactly. Right. So my point is, you're sitting there saying, fuck it. What can I do? It's a given. Right. If everybody felt the way that you did, we'd already be in chains. The reason we're not is because enough people in the past have said, no, fuck you. And it slowed them down.
The thing is, it's past that point, mate. 94% of the country decided to take a bioweapon. The damage is done, mate. The control is already there. There's no revolution.
They didn't know it was a bioweapon.
No, whether you knew it or whether you didn't know it, the point is the control is already implemented. So the revolution won't be televised this time. And the outcome is decided already. We're just living in that process. And that's the difference. I understand.
Sean, it's like when you say...
Mate, if I could get on the street with a gun and I could make a difference, I would do it, but I just don't.
On the one hand, though, you make out like everyone that took the weapon like was like hoodwinked, and at the same time, you're not pretending like you're not hoodwinked right now and thinking that there's no other outcome. It's like you're being duplicitous. It's mental.
I was not hoodwinked on that particular subject. I'm not saying I'm not.
But you are being hoodwinked now by thinking that there's no other outcome. You might as well get on board it.
I'm not saying, mate. There is a couple of like very small potential ways this can change.
Someone that didn't take, if there was someone that I could bring into this chat right now that felt the way that I did, that didn't take the jab, they would be talking to you and you wouldn't have the argument. The only defense that you have, and you as well, John, to my fucking rebuttal to you is, what do you know, Butler? You took a fucking jab. Yeah. If there was someone on the chat right now who hadn't taken the jab saying the same thing I would, you wouldn't have a defense. And they would be saying to you right now that those other people were hoodwinked into taking a jab, and they'd be saying, yeah, we didn't, you didn't, but you're now hoodwinked into the same bullshit that there's no other outcome. If there was absolutely nobody in the history of the mankind that ever stood up to the tyranny, then we would be in chains already. The fact that there has been, and the fact that there will be, but you are giving up. You're giving up.
No, but what you're saying is, Sean, is there's a chance. But you know, things have turned to shit over the last 6 years, even though people have been protesting, like you said. I've been protesting. I've been on marches, you said. So what changed from then? Did anything change for the better? No. It's like when you say,
in the last 6 years.
It's like when you say Levy has got us in this position that we can buy £100 million players because of the prudence that he put in place and built the stadium and the training ground and all of these things, right? And you were saying, I back Levy, and other people were going, fuck Levy, I want to get him out. And you're saying, because of all Levy's work, right? Well, that's where we're at now. Because of the fucking shit work that these bastards have done, these puppet masters, we're in all of these positions. So all of these things, like you say about Charlie Kirk and this and that and the other, they're all theatre for the mind, for the masses.
You're just giving up. You're giving up on it. Yeah? You're giving up on it.
What do you mean giving up? Giving up on what? That's your perception that there's a giving up.
No, you're giving up. You're saying there's no point in fighting it anymore.
No, I didn't say there's no point in fighting it. I said I don't understand how you can think that there is a chance.
So you're giving up.
That's what you're thinking. You're saying that.
You're saying that. You're saying that there's no. You're saying I'm an idiot for thinking there's a chance of it going in a different direction.
Okay, if you're going to quote,
you're saying that there's no chance.
Get the quotes right. Where did I say you're an idiot?
Mate,
Right.
fuck it.
If you're going to quote, get the quotes correct.
Mate. John, you're talking bollocking semantics. You have said that I am silly. I'm inferring. I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
I'm paraphrasing. John, just shut up for a second.
Right.
I'm paraphrasing. What you said, right? I can't remember the exact words, but you are saying that there is no chance of anything changing.
Well, what has changed in the last 6 years? Has it got better?
Saying that. So agree with me then. You're saying that.
Has it got better?
So you are saying, you agreeing with me then, right? So my inference of what you're saying is that the world is fucked and that the world is going to a certain destination point, and you've got on board that, and I might as well. That's what you're saying, right?
So you're presuming,
but the architects have decided the outcome.
Sorry, Nikos. I'm asking John specifically.
You want an answer that suits your purpose right now. Like you say to Stell, you want an agenda fulfilled by people agreeing with you or disagreeing with you.
Why are you bringing in?
It's not a black and white, because this is how you behave with other people.
John, you are saying, am I wrong or am I right? You are saying that the world has got worse in the last 6 years. Therefore, there is no evidence that there will ever get better. So therefore, you think it's a fait accompli that the world will end up in the end times in which we all feared for the last however many years. That's what you're saying, right?
Well, that's where we're at right now, aren't we?
That's what you're saying.
That's
then
the playbook.
Why are you disagreeing with me? Because that's what I've been saying for the last 10 minutes. Like that's what you think.
You're getting aggressive again and wound up. I'm not going to engage with you if you're going to be like this.
Stell, you use this argument against Stell and the Daniel Levy thing.
I'm trying to have a conversation with you. You're getting angry and aggressive.
You're being fucking really indignant, mate. It's weird.
You're being angry and aggressive. If you want to chill out, we can have a conversation. If you want to continue being
bollocks and get to the point, John, that you're winding me up because you're talking a load of bollocks and you don't want to answer a question with a question. It's weird, mate.
Think about your questions. If you watch this back tomorrow, I think you'll realise, and you even said earlier, it's the magnums, and you said I've had loads of spatches and if I'm being a bit aggressive over the top, and now you've switched back to it.
Because you're being a fucking donut, mate. You're being a fucking donut. You're trying to say something. And then when I paraphrase what you're saying, when I rephrase what you're saying back at you, you don't want to
aggressive. Nikos, what do you think about this conversation? Do you think it's an open conversation, or do you think
you're acting like a fucking libtard, mate?
Or do you think Sean's being aggressive?
I think he's not letting you get your opinion across properly, to be honest. Mate, I think he's already made his mind up.
Green fucking paint on your head, mate. You look like a fucking libtard. What are you doing? Have a conversation with me.
Like, when you get to name calling,
because you're too angry and wound up.
Oh, mate, fuck off the stream then, bro. What are you doing?
Mate, let's get back to that. Let's time it out. Let's go back to another video. We're doing it straight up from Moose, and we got back to this.
Bro, Nikos, mate, I'm not going to fucking have someone come into the stream, moan about the fact that he was invited 1 minute before he got on, and then sit there and be a fucking donut the entire time. Say your
opinion.
Things. Make your point. Make your
opinion.
Point. Is the world going where you think it is, or isn't it? Make your point.
Of course it bloody is. We've seen that. It's the evidence of it. Do you think it's not then?
So then why are you a conspiracy theorist, mate? What are you doing?
What's that got to do with it? What's that got to do with it?
Mate, listen, I might be drunk, but you're being a fucking donut, bro. And
what's that got to do with it?
The chat can see it. I can see it in the chat, bro. You're being a fucking idiot.
Nah, they're just supporting you, mate. Let's go back to a video. Let's do something else. We're talking about straight off a Moose. That was going a good way for a second. It's flowing back the other way. Let's get back to some level conspiracy stuff.
Nah,
the chat deserves a decent conspiracy show.
It's going to be hard to recover from this one.
It's all right. It's all right. Mate, at the end of the day, we don't always agree on everything. There's not the things that we don't agree on all the time. You don't have to fall out over disagreeing on certain people's points and opinions.
John came into the show pissed off that he wasn't invited earlier. It's sensitive, John, as always. It's weird. Whatever. I can't be bothered with it. We're going to end the show.
You're saying I'm sensitive, and look how angry you're getting and aggressive.
Nah, come on, mate. Let's get a video going. We've got 20 minutes left. We've got 2 hours done.
You can't answer a question without throwing another question out. It's wild. You're supposed to be.
Your questioning is aggressive.
What?
It's aggressive line of questioning,
and you're passive aggressive. You're passive aggressive with your nonsense, mate. You're passive aggressive.
You're trying to offend and trying to get me wound up and have a reaction.
No one's trying to wind you up, mate. I'm trying to get a straight answer out of you, but you can't deliver it.
Let's move on to the next thing. Let's get another video going. I'm trying to be the voice of reason.
The show's done. I can't bother with it. Fuck it.
Come on, don't be like that. Let's get another video.
Something else on.
Spin the wheel. Let's get another story going.
Spin that wheel.
Spin the wheel. Get something else going. Let's talk about something else. Come on, Sean. Don't be like that.
No, I'm going to end it. We're going to end it. We'll start again next time with people that will actually want to have a decent conversation.
Mate, conversation. You've been a little bit unreasonable.
We're trying to, but it's not happening.
No, the only reason I'm not even being unreasonable. I might be a little bit like overly animated, but I'm just absolutely stunned that two people that were conspiracy theorists last week are now suddenly saying
last week, 3 months ago,
whatever. Last time we spoke, they were like, "No, we got to fight, and now you're like, "Oh, just fucking give up."
Mate, don't need a show like that, mate. Let's go on to another video. Let's end it on a high note. Let's get some spinning going on. Let's give the viewers what they want. Come on, always a reason.
I don't think I've got it in me. Love you guys. Speak to you later on. Take care.
Emotional.